Good morning, guys. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm a finance professor, and I am also representing the Black Financial Channel. And there are a lot of interesting things happening in the stock market today, and we're going to break all that down right now. Okay, so the stock market is pretty steady. You had a great week to start. Today's Wednesday, and Monday and Tuesday were pretty awesome. You pretty much had Christmas in November, and even though I expected there to be a reversal of the amazing fortunes that you had on Monday, the reversal wasn't that bad. The market's doing quite well. Most of you are making money. Give me a yes in the chat if you're that you've been making lately in the stock market. What's going on, McCann, Cornell, and Terry Cobb? How you doing? I see Terry Cobb in here almost every day. It's good to see you, brother. I respect you so much. Um, so, so you've had a good week, and a lot of what's going on right now is you're seeing an overwhelming sort of sentiment from the stock market that says that everything's okay now because we got a vaccine coming. Pfizer made the big announcement the other day, and that just shot the market through the roof. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you'll know that I was mentioning this to you guys months ago. Months ago, I said honestly, a lot of this was kind of not quite an illusion, but it was definitely temporary. It's like talking to your 16-year-old daughter after she's crying over some boy that dumped her, and you're kind of like, this too shall pass. You know that at some point your daughter's going to come in the house screaming because she's in love and she's excited and happy again, and but this all is all temporary. So the stock market was kind of behaving like your 16-year-old daughter or your son, and I, one of the consistent conversation points we've had is that when the vaccine got here, or when there was just news of the vaccine, not even not even an actual vaccine, I mean just positive news of a vaccine, that was going to release the cloud of uncertainty from the market that would create a tremendous economic opportunity for you. And I was saying, look, just hold out, hold on, just be patient, like the old Negro spirituals when they say a change is going to come. The only difference is that this is actually real. This isn't fake, false hope. This was actual real hope. And a lot of you are seeing that real hope deposited in your bank accounts. So congratulations if you held out and you were smart on that. Now, here's the thing, right? So while you're seeing, the market hold pretty steady, you also saw, ironically, that when the market had its best day, the big tech stocks, the FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, and then throw in Microsoft as well, they didn't really benefit from the big jump. They didn't, because they already ate, so to speak. They already got their dinner, meaning that they were the companies that benefited from the pandemic. They were making more money during the pandemic than they were making outside the pandemic. So the pandemic wasn't bad for everybody. It was just bad for some of us. The companies that tended to benefit were more of those cyclical stocks, or those companies that were severely underpriced, because they couldn't operate during COVID. Airlines, cruise ships, casinos, hotels, even dating apps. Like, I mean, people weren't. I mean, you are really go on a date with somebody during the pandemic? No, I mean, you already had to worry about a bunch of other STDs. Now you got to worry about COVID on top of that. So, although I'm sure some people didn't care. Well, either way, though, these companies all did really well, and so what you're seeing in general is a transition away from the tech stocks, the stay-at-homes, to the stocks that do well when the life is normal. Here's the problem, right? First of all, there's no vaccine yet, right? It's Pfizer created this thing. It's great, but there's no clear plan on exactly how fast they're going to be able to roll it out. It's going to take a really long time. And then number two, you've just got these uncertainties on the horizon. And in the backdrop of this, you've got, these really ugly headlines. Every day we're setting record numbers for cases, and there are some deaths, right? So the virus is real. It has to be dealt with. I don't think it's going to shut down the American economy, but it could escalate to the point where it creates economic fear. And you're already seeing shutdowns as a result of that. All of Europe is pretty much shut down, and the United States is going to be shut down pretty good as well. And so, they're revving up, right? They're preparing to get their money from the vaccine. They're going to roll out probably a billion or more doses in the year 2021. So that means we got the rest of the year to get headline after headline of record numbers of cases. I think that's going to put a damper on the market. I'm protecting my portfolio, looking into put options. I even sold some in the money call options, which is almost like a shortcut way to buying a put, or you can actually do other things, right cash secured puts, things like that. I've been protecting my portfolio mainly because I don't really trust this rally completely. The other reason I don't trust the rally is because you still got this guy named Donald Trump that believes he's the president, right? And then you got another guy named Joe Biden who believes he's the president. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, these two guys are both walking around pretending like they're president of the United States and nobody really knows what's going on. That's not good for the world. That's very bad for an investing environment. And that doesn't just affect the stock market, which reacts heavily to uncertainty. It also affects the ability to do other things that could benefit the market, like pass a stimulus package already. I mean, my God, what's wrong with you people? Just sit down and sign the paperwork. Write that check for a couple trillion. Um, and they're not going to do that. And it's interesting because this is where I get kind of disappointed with Donald Trump in a lot of ways. I mean, I don't care about the other stuff. I don't care that he told the Proud Boys to stand by or whatever. I don't know of any Proud Boys killing black people, so I really just they don't scare me. I don't scare easily, but I can get frustrated if you're doing something that's not for the good of the American people. So, one of the things that I read about is that George Bush, as angry as he was when Obama took over in the White House, one thing that Bush did that showed a lot of class was he actually passed stimulus relief. It was more industry specific, but it was still necessary to save a lot of jobs during that lame duck period when Obama was taking over the White House. He didn't spend all his time being mad that he lost the presidency. He just, he made sure that his successor had a good economy or the best economy possible because he cared about the country. And I think that's something we've lost as a country. I think that we have people. You have Trump, who cares more about Donald Trump than anybody else. We know this. He's kind of a narcissist. And then you have the Democrats that I felt deliberately ruined the economy so that you would, and they were just hoping that you would blame Trump when you lost your job. And that dirty politics is something that just burns me up. I hate it. It just makes me mad. Um, you know, and so right now, the biggest thing that these ridiculous politicians can do is keep the economy from going off the cliff. There are people that have been out of work for months. The jobs numbers can't hold on forever. They're actually really, really bad. People, the evictions go up every single month. They need a relief package. And then for investors, I think that's eventually going to catch up to you. That the chickens will come home to roost on that. I was on my Instagram page. My Instagram's the real boyce Watkins. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I put up the debt clock for the United States, and the federal debt is at an insane level. I mean, it is at a ridiculous level because basically the entire country is kind of like it's kind of like, imagine if you had a house where your expenses were really high and both parents lose their job and they're living off the credit card. Well, they can't live off the credit card forever, right? You can't live off the credit card for 3 years or for even a year, right? The credit card might be there, if you need it for a month or two, but you can't live off credit card for 9 months or a year. That's crazy. That's going to put you in an enormous amount of debt. That's kind of what we're doing. We're living off the credit card, and the credit card is the treasury, where the card appears to have no limit because you can print as much money as you want, but it does have a limit because it has long-term effects on your economy and on the stability of your whole economic system. So we got to stop playing games. What I really wish is that we had nonpartisan, non-political experts that literally sat down and said, how do we do what's best for the people? The Federal Reserve does a good job of that. They're really good at being apolitical. But these politicians, not only do they not understand economics, but they're just dummies. All of them. They just don't know what's going on. They don't care. All they care about is getting votes and everything else. So that's what concerns me about this rally. I don't trust this rally. I think it's great. I'm happy if you made money. I want you to keep making money, but I don't trust it because it's going to take a while to roll out that vaccine. It takes a while to get something to billions of people. And then number two, there is no stimulus, and they're probably not going to pass one until after they finish fighting over the election. And then three, You just have the general election uncertainty, which can be bad for stock markets. Not to mention all the rising cases that are just scaring the hell out of people that are probably going to cause more shutdowns. So the economy's doing great, but don't be, just know you may have some volatility in the near future. Now Eric says, do Democrats and how do Democrats intentionally ruin the economy? I felt like they overplayed the COVID hand. I really do. I feel like if it wasn't an election year, they wouldn't have made it seem like everybody was going to at risk of dying. Like I'm a statistician, and I'm married to a woman who knows statistics at a high level. So we looked at the actual data because we were traveling. We were like, okay, is it safe to travel? We don't want to, hurt our kids or whatever. So we looked at the data, and I said, an MIT professor says that your odds of catching COVID on an airplane are 1 in 4,000. I'll take those odds, right? It's very hard. Like if somebody said you have a 1 in 4,000 chance of winning $1 million tomorrow, you're not going to start planning on what you're going to do with $1 million. You know that the odds are very, very small. Like those damn near are like the odds of making it to the NBA or the NFL. It's very rare, right? That a random kid is going to make it to the NBA. So it wasn't that it wasn't there. It's just that there are other things that actually kill more people and other things that are actually greater risk factors, in my opinion. And I felt that politicians like to use fear to get people to vote, just like companies use fear to get you to buy things, right? Fear is the best motivator that there is. And so the best way to actually become economically strong is to not let fear cause you to overreact to things, because you got the sheep and you've got the wolves, and the wolves use fear to control the sheep. So don't be a sheep. That's just the honest to God truth. If you want to stay broke, think about this. Think about how many black people that just stay broke, stay struggling, don't know how to get ahead. But the answers are there. I mean, some of you, give me a yes or no in the chat. Give me a yes if you've significantly improved your economic situation in the last 3 years. Give me a yes if you've seen your money go up because you're making good decisions and investing and stuff like that. Give me a yes in the chat, so these people know that you're here, right? Well, chances are that the reason that you're moving ahead is because you only use emotion when it works to your benefit, meaning that you'll be emotional about doing positive things, but you're not going to be emotional if it causes you to get this rigor mortis where you sit there frozen waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. And so I just think at the end of the day, I'm encouraging you to be wise and smart. I just don't think that being emotional about every little trigger that they put on your TV set is going to get you ahead. They just want you to be in position so that they can use you to win elections, to sell products, things like that. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. And also, if you still want to learn more about investing, or you're just not sure, you're not comfortable, you can get free stuff from the Black Business School. We have stuff that does cost money. It's very low cost because we're building a university and that costs money. But we also have some free resources so you can get to trust us, get to know us, know how good we are. We're the best in the world at Black wealth. We're the best in the world at solving Black economic problems. And so you can go to firstshareofstock.com and sign up there, firstshareofstock.com. You can get free stuff from us, and you can learn to buy your first share if you haven't done it yet. Also, text the word boyce to 31996 if you want to get text alerts when we have special events and things like that. That's right there in the ticker. Text boyce to 31996. So the final point I'll make on this is that there's opportunities out there. A lot of these cyclicals, I think they still have some upside, mainly because they still haven't completely recovered from what I really honestly call like an economic cold. Like that's what it was. It wasn't, like these big companies that are really strong and are making tons of money that, saw drops in their price because of COVID. These are great companies, a lot of them, like Disney. Disney's a great company, and Disney is going to emerge from all of this stronger than they did before. In fact, I'm going to actually increase my holdings of Disney. If you want to know what my stock pick of the day is, it's Disney, because Disney is one of those companies that really knows how to pivot. They're a company that had already figured out how to make money in a COVID world, which is something they didn't really know how to do before. They figured it out, right? They increased, I think they have 60 to 100. They have 60 million streaming subscribers. They're probably going to cross 100 million sometime next year. I bet you they will. And then on top of that, once the vaccine is out, then they'll be making their real money. This is their side hustle money, the streaming stuff. This was their long-term stuff that they were going to focus on later. So they just doubled down on that temporarily. And now they're getting a lot of money from streaming. Well, guess what's going to happen when the parks open up and they're doing live sports again? That's where they were making their real money. So Disney is going to be, I think, a beast. I think Disney's going to do really well long term. And actually, now that I'm even thinking about it, I actually want to increase my holdings of Disney. So if you want to know what I'm thinking, I'm thinking a lot about Disney. So by the way, if you want to get do the Black Stock Market Challenge, we also have that in the Black Business School. It's totally free. It's a 5-day sequence of trainings and exercises you can do to become better at stock market investing. The reason I'm an advocate of stock market investing is because that is the number one way to build wealth in America. Over 90% of millionaires invest in the stock market. So the best way to become a millionaire, or at least become financially secure, is to imitate what rich people do. So rich people invest in the stock market. My PhD's in stock market investing, and so I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I think I can help you. So anyway, there's the URL. Hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button before you go. And I'm out of here, guys. I'll check back in throughout the day, and definitely make sure you follow the Black Financial Channel, because that's what we do. We're Black owned and all that good stuff. So I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.